Hiya, my name's Lynn Meadowcroft, and I've been asked to talk to you today and give a presentation about stress and stress management. I'm a health and wellbeing practitioner. I run workshops and I run retreats for women, and I also do one-to-one coaching, and I also offer training and team building for corporates. So stress is absolutely a subject that's very, very dear to me. It's very close to me. And the reason for that is because about 12 years ago now, I almost had a nervous breakdown. And I was very, very, very poorly. I was really, really poorly. And so I was off work with work-related stress for 6 months. And I can't tell you how um, the place that I was in, it was just such a dark place, such a really, really dark place. It was horrific. And so I never, ever, ever want to go back to that place. And I started to have a look at what I could do to manage my stress levels. So I want to talk to you today about that. I've got a figure for you here actually from the Health and Safety Executive, and according to the figures in 2018-19, the HSE say that 12.8 million working days were lost with work-related stress. 12.8 million. So I would have been one of those statistics 12 years ago. And let me just tell you, first of all, about stress. We all have built within us this mechanism, and it's called the fight or flight response. You may or may not have heard of it. And what that is if you can cast your minds back, or if you can just think about the caveman times. In the age of the caveman, if there was a saber-toothed tiger just appeared, then the caveman had two choices, and that would have been his fight or flight response. So he could either stay and fight the tiger, or he could run away and run for safety. So those are the two choices that were presented to him at that time, the fight or flight response. And we all have that mechanism built within us. So when we find ourselves in that situation, in that fight or flight response, what happens is we get this rush of adrenaline. So adrenaline fills our system, it floods our body, and our heart starts racing, we start getting palpitations, our hands go sweaty, and that means that we're in that fight or flight response. So again, we have to make a choice. We make a decision about how we're going to deal with whatever the situation may be that's caused that reaction. So I'm going to talk you through a few slides. I'll give you an overview of what we're doing today. So just bear with me a second. Let's just get some slides up for you here. So this is the overview of what I'm going to be talking to you about today. So I'm going to be talking to you about what causes stress, what the physiological effects are of stress, what happens to your body when you practice deep relaxation. I'll share with you some relaxation techniques and a stress log. I'll give you some quick tips for reducing stress, and I'll talk you through something called the A, B, C, D, and E of changing your self-talk. And then I'll finish with some final thoughts and my contact details. So here we go. So what causes stress? We have triggers. We all have things called triggers. So I'll talk you through some of the main triggers of stress. Some of these you won't be surprised to see. And also what you can do is you can add your own triggers to this list, because this isn't a comprehensive list, it's just some of the main triggers. So the first one you can see there is work. So work does cause a lot of stress. So by that, it could be that we have a deadline. It could be that somebody is off sick in your team. And so what that does is somebody has to cover their workload as well. So not only have you got your own workload to cover, you've also got someone else's workload to cover now too. So I'm sure that some of you can relate to work-related stress. Another trigger is family. And at this moment, we are living in unprecedented times. A lot of us are living at home now with our families 24/7, and we're not used to that. We're used to going out to work, or our partner or husband or wife or whatever, they're going out to work. We've got the children at home, and all of that is all adding to stress within that family situation. Money causes stress for a lot of people. A lot of people get really stressed about money. Have they got enough money? Can they pay the bills? And I know that money is causing a lot of stress for a lot of people right now, especially with their jobs. Lack of sleep. If you're not sleeping well, that can increase your stress levels. So that's also a trigger. Health problems. If anybody's got any health problems, that could also trigger stress. You're worried about it. You're worried about what's going to happen. You're worried about the medication that you might have to take. All of those kinds of things. Divorce causes stress. It's not an easy thing to go through, so that does cause stress for people. And moving house, that causes a lot of stress. And also the death of a loved one. So those are the main triggers that cause stress. So just have a look at those triggers, see if you can identify with any of them. And also, as I said, just add your own triggers to that list. Oh, there's another one there. Forgot that one, getting married. Getting married, yes, that can cause stress as well. And I do know that a lot of weddings have been cancelled. Well, all weddings have been cancelled as far as I know during these unprecedented times, which will have caused stress, especially when you've done all that planning and preparation beforehand. So those are our triggers. Let's take a look now at what happens. So when you feel stress, you will start feeling all of these physiological effects. So I've mentioned already about your heart rate. So your heart starts accelerating, your heart rate starts accelerating. The blood is pumped with increased force around your body. Your coronary arteries dilate. I'm not going to go through all of this list. You can see that list there for yourself. You start getting shallow breathing. You start breathing really shallow. It's like you can't get your breath sometimes. Your blood pressure increases. All of this affects you physiological body. So all of these things are happening to your body when you're feeling stress. And I remember doing an access course about stress. It was about psychology, and we covered, one of the modules was about stress. And I remember that the tutor wrote up on the board all of these things here that I've just gone through with you. And I asked her the question, when does all this happen to your body? And I was expecting her reply to be something like, oh, it takes about 2 years, or it takes about 12 months. And I was really, really shocked when she said that all of this starts happening to your body in 30 seconds. So within 30 seconds of feeling stressed, all of this is going on within our body, all of it. So I'll just leave that up there for you to just have a look at. What happens is, over time, if you don't deal with stress, if you don't reduce your stress levels, if you don't do something about stress, what happens is all of this builds up in your body over time. And that leads to heart disease, it leads to stroke, it leads to anxiety, depression. So all of this over time, if you're not doing anything about it, it will have some severe effects physically, mentally, and emotionally. So we need to do something about it. What can we do? We can relax. So deep breathing slows your heart rate down, and it deepens your relaxation. You feel calmer. Your oxygen rate use is much lower. Your heart rate decreases. Your muscles, your actual muscles in your skin relax. And your brain waves are slower, and the harmony is greater. The activity of your key hormonal glands decreases. And you actually have feelings of harmony and well-being, and they increase. And your greater physical balance is restored. So this is what, if we practice deep relaxation, all of this then happens to our body. So just notice the difference between this and the last slide with physiological effects. So none of that is happening when you practice relaxation, when you learn to relax. So we need to learn, we need to know how can we do that? How can we move from feeling so anxious and so stressed to feeling calm and peaceful? How can we do that? Let me tell you. Here are some relaxation techniques that you can start using straight away. Deep breathing. That is the number one technique that I would invite you to use, because you can do deep breathing anytime, any place, anywhere, and you can do it instantly. So if you do deep breathing, and by that, let me show you what I mean. So a lot of people, I'm just going to invite you to just close your eyes for me. And just place one hand on your chest and one hand on your tummy. And just breathe normally, just breathe. Just notice which hand is moving more than the other one. Just simply notice. It's not a trick question. I'm not asking you to do something to trick you here. I just want to show you something. Okay, you can open your eyes again now. So, did you notice which hand was moving more? And I'm guessing that the hand that was on your chest was moving more than the hand that was down here on your tummy. That's because most of us breathe from up here. That is called shallow breathing. We're not meant to breathe from up here. We're meant to breathe from down in our diaphragm. So if you notice a little baby, you notice that baby's tummy rises, keeps going up and down, because that baby's breathing correctly. It's breathing from its diaphragm. It's not breathing from up here. So practice some deep breathing. So place your hand on your chest again and your hand on your tummy. Breathe in deeply through your nose. Allow your chest to expand, but breathe right down into your diaphragm. And if you are feeling stressed, do that straight away. Do some deep breathing. Close your eyes. Take some deep breaths in through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Just doing 3 to 5 deep breaths will instantly change your brain waves. It instantly changes your brain waves. You instantly feel calmer. So that's the number one technique that I would go to. Well, I do go to. That's the number one technique that I'm inviting you to go to too. Deep breathing. Anybody can do it, anytime, any place, anywhere. Remember, deep breathing. Another thing that you could do, another technique that's really good for relaxing you is yoga. And there are absolutely hundreds and hundreds of yoga videos on YouTube. And I know a lot of yoga teachers, and a lot of yoga teachers are offering their classes now online. So if you know a yoga teacher, just check out if they're doing an online class and join in. And if you don't know a yoga teacher, that's okay. Just have a look on YouTube, find a yoga class on YouTube, and just start practicing some yoga. Yoga is amazing for your mind, body, and soul. Another technique is Tai Chi. You can just simply go for a walk in nature. I always feel deeply relaxed when I go for a walk in nature, and I'm very blessed that I actually live in the countryside. So nature is right outside my door. Listen to some relaxing music. Find some relaxing music on YouTube and listen to some relaxing music. You could read something that's light-hearted. Have fun. You know, even having fun isn't stressful. Have some fun. Meditation, that's my go-to place, meditation. I run meditation groups, and meditation for me, after the deep breathing, that's my go-to place. Meditation is amazing for relaxing you. And again, there are lots of meditation videos on YouTube. And the thing with meditation is you don't have to be sat with your hands like this, cross-legged. There's different kinds of meditation. You can just sit in silence, just go to that place within you that's that silent place. You can put a guided meditation on YouTube. Just find something that works for you, play around with it. And you can start a gratitude journal. Some people may think that in these unprecedented times that we've not got much to be grateful for. How wrong they are. We have so much to be grateful for, really. Write 5 things down at the end of every day that you're grateful for, and that will have a lovely effect on you. Before I go to sleep, I have a gratitude journal at the side of my bed, and I write 5 things down that I'm grateful for that day. And a lot of the things I'm writing down now are a phone call to my mum, or a phone call to one of my sons, or speaking to my grandchildren on a WhatsApp video. Just find something that you're grateful for, and also get support. So those are some relaxation techniques that anybody can use, and I invite you to start introducing some of those techniques into your daily life now. So I'll just leave that on for you for a second if you want to make a note of it or whatever. What you can do is keep a stress log. I invite you all to keep a stress log for a week. And what that will do is you may start seeing a pattern. Awareness is the key to change. So it's vital that you are aware of your stress triggers, that you know what it is that's causing you stress. Keep a log. Write down in that log how you feel. How did you react to the situation? What was that situation? How did you handle the situation? And you may identify a pattern of stress. When you know what your triggers are, then you can deal with them in a different way. And I'll come on to that later. So keep a stress log just for about a week, because awareness is the key. There are 10 quick tips here for reducing stress. The first one is to breathe deeply. I've already taught you through that. So breathe deeply and let your shoulders and your neck relax. I used to be a massage therapist, holistic therapist. And when I was massaging people's backs, this bit here, these shoulders, we hold so much tension here. So when you are breathing, just let your shoulders drop. You can actually physically feel your shoulders drop. A lot of the time we're walking with our shoulders, not maybe like that, but that's how it feels inside. So breathe deeply and let your shoulders and your neck relax. Tell yourself, I can handle this. Take a 10-minute walk at lunchtime, or take a 10-minute walk whenever you can. Focus on the scenery. Take a few minutes every day to write about your thoughts and your feelings. That's called journaling. Write down your thoughts and your feelings. Because what happens then is, when you're writing them down, they're not inside of you anymore. You've written them down. So even writing them down, you just feel so much better. Buy some soothing music to play in the car and at home. Just play some beautiful relaxation music. Turn off the television. Television can cause a lot of stress, especially if you're constantly watching the news. That will massively increase your stress levels. Maybe call a friend and ask for some support. We're not very good at asking for support, especially women. So ask for support. You could form a positive focus group at work. Just a few of you get together and just meet up. And if you're not at work physically right now, you could maybe set up like a WhatsApp group just to have that positive focus, because you can't focus on positivity and negativity at the same time. And then my final tip is to drink water every day instead of coffee. Coffee contains caffeine. Caffeine doesn't help your stress levels, it adds to them. So choose water. So those are my 10 quick tips for reducing stress. And again, everybody can do these. Everybody. So I'm going to talk you through the A, B, C, D, and E's now for changing your self-talk. So A is the activating event. B is your stressful thought about that event. C is the consequence of your stressful thought. D is an invitation to challenge those thoughts. And E are new thoughts. So let me give you an example. A, activating event. So that could be that you have been given a deadline. You have to meet a deadline. So your activating event could be meeting a deadline. B, your stressful thoughts around that deadline could be something like, how dare they give me this assignment so late? I need more time. I can't do this. I've not got time to do this. So your stressful thoughts, you can see, you will start feeling that stress within your body, physically, mentally, and emotionally, with your thoughts around that event. So what would the consequences of thoughts such as those be? You could get angry. You could be really, really angry. So you would feel that anger in your body. You could feel really, really angry. And so your ability to concentrate or focus would be pretty low. If you're in a state of anger, how dare they do that to me? This isn't fair. It could just be that, you know, you're not concentrating. So D, what are the challenging thoughts? So you could change your stressful thoughts to something like, I don't like getting late assignments, but it's not the end of the world. Now, if you add that thought instead of, oh, this isn't fair. This is always happening. This isn't fair. If you change that, this isn't fair, and I haven't got time to do this, to, I don't like getting late assignments, but it's not the end of the world. You can see how that would have a different effect on your stress levels. And then E, you could take a deep breath, you could do some breathing techniques, and you could concentrate on the task in hand. And you could say to yourself something like, at the next meeting, I'll request that we get assignments sent to us earlier. And then get on with the task. It's so important to change your self-talk, because all stress comes from your stressful thoughts about a situation. Something happens, you have a response to that event, to that situation. You have thoughts about that situation. These are stressful thoughts. Those stressful thoughts will have consequences. You'll start to feel a certain way. You'll start to feel angry or helpless or hopeless. all of those will have consequences on your physical body, as I've described earlier. Over time, those consequences, those stressful thoughts that build up within your body will lead to heart disease, high blood pressure. I know so many people who are on medication for high blood pressure. Anxiety, depression, all of it is because of stress. So it's so important that you manage your own stress. So some final thoughts for you there. I invite you to review your own levels of stress. How stressed are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being hardly any stress at all, 10 being stress to the hilt, what would you say your number would be right now? If you're on a number 1, that's fantastic. If you're anything above 2, start managing your stress. Start managing your stress. Because stress is a killer. Stress presents us with so many illnesses and disease. I've mentioned before, heart disease, stroke, anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, all of that, all of those caused by stress. But you can do something about it. That's the great news. You can do something about it. That's what I had to do. I knew I couldn't carry on living how I was living. I was a manager of a voluntary organisation. The funding depended on me. I had staff to manage. I had a massive workload. I had meetings to go to every single day. I had presentations to do every day. I had 2 sons at home, 15 and 12 at that time. I was going through a divorce. There was so much going on, and I had no idea what was happening to me. And I just kept going on like that little clockwork mouse, going on and on and on, just carrying on as though nothing had happened. And huge things were happening to me internally, but I just kept going on. I just kept going on until I almost had that breakdown. And as I said, I was off for 6 months with work-related stress. I have never been as ill in my life, and I never, ever want to go back to that place. So I'm here to help you. I hope this presentation has helped you. I hope that I've given you something to think about. I hope that you take the action that only you can take. Nobody else. Nobody can do this for you. You have to do it for yourself. So please, please, please do something about it. Take that action. Do some deep breathing. Do some meditation. Do some yoga. Go for a walk. Listen to some relaxing music. It's up to you. This is your life. It's your health. So please be responsible. take responsibility and take some action today, now. After this presentation, take some action. Thank you so much for being here with me on this presentation. I do hope that it's helped you. And I'm sending you lots and lots and lots of support. If you need any support with this, please get in touch. I'm always here to help, always. Because I've been there. I've been there, and I don't want you to go there. I don't want that to happen to anybody else, because we can prevent it. Stress is an inside job. It's up to you. Thank you.